Okay. Okay, I think I'm live. I'll start that. Hopefully there's no horrible audio issues. So anyway, the goal of this stream is to reproduce an artwork much like this one, except I'll be using the character of Skull Kid from Majora's Mask. Some fan art. Yes. And I just screen grabbed from this from the Terrible Fate short film that came out like 4 or 5 years ago. So basically just this pose against a colorful background, or maybe just black like that. And basically the point of this stream is to just walk through the process of digital artwork from start to finish, show my process for how it's done, and perhaps go into some of my favorite tricks, and perhaps guide someone who might be interested in doing something similar someday. So anyway, I'll just hide that and create the first sketching layer. I'm gonna check the stream real quick. Okay, apparently I am live. Good. Okay. Alright, so the first thing everyone always does when doing their art, not everybody, but I was taught this in art school back like 4 or 5 years ago, that we are going to want to create a sketching layer in blue. And here are all my brushes. I have a whole freaking bunch. I typically just use this. I don't know where I even got it from. It's been a while. And then this little tool right here is basically thickness. So if I have a thickness of about 80 and I paint like that normally, and then I click on this, and that gives it some sensitivity. So I can go thin, but I could go real thick like that. So that's really beneficial for what we are doing. And I'm using a Huion tablet, and yeah, it's basically just like a mid-range between a Wacom tablet, which is like the higher end, probably costs around several thousand, or like 1,000 or so, and then Huion is like in between that and something really cheap. So I think I'm gonna use a 25 anyway. Oh yes. Let's get rid of the smoothing and go back to blue. So all of my drawings always start out really cheap, really ugly like this. We're probably going to need to size that up at some point. Does it super matter? I was kind of nervous. I was thinking I would just start the stream after I'd done all the sketching and gotten this all blocked out. But honestly, I don't know. Usually you never really show anyone this like really early ugly stage, and it's gonna stay ugly for a hot second. I think my strength, if I do have any as an artist, is I feel like I'm okay with figuring out line work and line width and giving it weight, but I am not very confident with posing. And I'm sure I'm doing all sorts of rules and not following anything, but you know. It looks like this other foot. So I do have Pinterest open for helping me do this, and I do have some other poses. And I think I can't really understate how important it is for artists to always use references. I pretty much never draw anything if I don't have something in front of me to go off of. And I'm sure once you get to a certain level and once you're confident enough, you'll probably never need to, or most of the time you can probably just go from your memory, but I'm not at that place. So I'm going to cheat if that's what it's considered. And then we're just gonna put that hand right there. I think the proportions are not quite right for him. I'll write down what his name is, Skull Kid, just so people know what we're drawing if they jump in. And then I'm just gonna, so this is the initial sketch. Sometimes I'll do 2, sometimes even 3 sketches if it really demands that. But for something like this, I think I can only get away with 2. And that's just gonna block out those initial spikes or whatever we want to call those. Yes, sir. Okay. Command Z. And his hat. I'm gonna try working faster than I normally do. So I am being watched now. Yeah. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to use this lasso tool. I'm going to do some just really rough adjustments. Early on. I'm just gonna leave it the same. I kind of like it more lean back. I like that. Okay. And I'm just going to soften this. Oh, Josiah's in here. Wonderful. Hello, Josiah. Unfortunately, my webcam's not on, so no. I was considering someday I might do like a face reveal, but I don't know. My webcam's so cheap and I don't have like a decent lighting setup at all, so I just don't want to downgrade whatever. I don't know. You can't really say this is quality, but I guess I'll start in with the fingers. I'm going to, and these can be super blobby. I actually don't struggle as much with fingers as much as some people seem to. But then again, if anything, I think feet are a lot more difficult for me. Where's the thumb going? Up on the arm? Okay. You'd be surprised at how many times people draw the thumbs going the wrong way, even in like professional spaces. My reference is really dark, so I'm not really sure what's going on, but that's broken. Boop. We can kind of leave that just as it is. Yes. Sleeves. Amazing. Line there. So pretty. Actually, there. Kind of has a wide-eyed look. The opposite of cross-eyed. So it looks like it's not really looking at anything. Yes, I think that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna have to round it out a bit here. There we go. Okay. So I guess I considered when I wanted to start, I don't know if I should start live streaming or not. One of the things I was considering, and I have been feeling kind of anxious for a while, was the fact that I'm just, I don't know, like you can make a video a week, but even if it's like the best video ever made, if there's not like consistent uploading, then I'm not really sure if it's like meaningful. Not meaningful, but if it's not really beneficial for growing the channel at all. And I've always sort of had the opinion that like I'm not really super doing YouTube, you know, for any professional meaning, or I'm not really expecting to be able to make a living on here, and I don't think anyone ever should, because the vast majority of all people who ever approach it fail to basically succeed. Like 99.9% of all the people on YouTube upload and get 0 views, and so it's just like the reality of that. You shouldn't expect to like, you know, catch lightning in a bottle and get successful, but that's basically kind of been my approach for the longest time. It's just like, even if you put 10, 12, 14 hours of editing into a video, like if the algorithm doesn't pick it up, or it's just like not caught on Reddit, or someone doesn't shout it out, it's never gonna get anywhere. And if I can only make one video a week, then I'm not really helping myself at all in that department. So I felt like, okay, now that it's 2021, I might as well try something new and start doing live content. And even if it's not viewed a whole lot, it's still gonna be uploaded pretty consistently, because whereas making regular YouTube content takes like, you know, 8 to 10 to even sometimes more hours a week to make one video, I can do this in like an hour, 2 hours a day, and I can make like quadruple the amount of videos. And I have seen that on channels that do live streaming. They tend to succeed and gain followers a lot faster because I have the tools that I can actually look and see the growth of other people's channels. And I tend to notice that people who are live streaming, and even though it's not like really quality content per se, they tend to be growing a lot faster than I am. So I think I might borrow that strategy going forward. That looks pretty good. I might borrow another, hold on. Looking up another reference real quick. Cool, okay. So yeah, I was thinking if there's any sort of success with this, I'll probably just jump to another game I like or another character. Like maybe I'll do Dragon Ball next or something. Oops. Yes, this is my reference. Oh boy. I wanted to do something with Majora's Mask or talk about it in some capacity for really the longest time. But I really just haven't had any like reason to, almost. It's like almost, I don't even know, like I just love Majora's Mask so much that it's just like, I don't really know how to introduce the subject or even like, you know, go about discussing it, because I feel like so many people, like Majora's Mask is easily the most talked about Zelda game pretty much ever. And it's like, how do I even go about like adding something new to the conversation? It's been like discussed and analyzed and, you know, loved on for so long that I don't even know. I feel like I can never do it justice, so. But maybe if I like think of a new angle to come at it from. Oh, I think my favorite Zelda song is the Song of Healing from this game. And it's probably going to come up in this playlist. I think the Song of Healing kind of, if you have to like isolate a single aspect of the entire game and like focus on to start or analyze, perhaps how does this one aspect kind of embody the whole? I think the Song of Healing does that better than anything else. It captures kind of like the tonal weight and the, I don't know, the atmosphere of the game that is kind of hard to just describe in words, so it's something I think just listening to that can kind of get across. But yeah, my second favorite like Zelda game, if besides Majora's Mask, would be like a tie between Ocarina of Time and A Link Between, no, A Link to the Past. Yeah, that's what it's called. I think as far as like just overall like consistency across the board, I think A Link to the Past is probably the best Zelda game. Like the best whole, all overall experience. But I don't know. Ocarina of Time means more to me because I played it at a younger age, you know. I don't know. I've seen a lot of videos kind of like criticizing Ocarina of Time's design and a lot of elements of the gameplay, but I've never like seen anything that's really been convincing. Honestly, I think like people just kind of hate it, or you know, pretend to think it's not as good as it is, or call it overrated just because it's like, you know, it's been called the greatest game of all time for so long that people just kind of feel the need to downplay it now because it's like it's cool to do so now. You're like counterculture almost. But I don't know. Despite how many people say it's the coolest thing ever, I still think it's pretty amazing. That being said, I've played it so many times. I think I've like played it 14 or gosh, at least like 30 times. I don't know. I played it like 3 times in one summer, like 4 summers ago. So it's pretty hard to like find anything new. Oh yeah. I do like the Song of Storms. There's probably a reason they reused it in this game. I might have to edit this. If there's one Zelda game I really want to play that I haven't yet, it would be Wind Waker. I never had a GameCube growing up, and I didn't bother to get the Wii U. So just like no reason really to for me. But yeah, I feel like I kind of missed out on that one. Everything I've seen about it, it just like looks so much like it looks like it's somewhat near Breath of the Wild, and I thought Breath of the Wild was really fantastic. What am I doing? That's messed up. Ignore that. We're gonna thin the brush. I don't like how thick this. Actually, the leg was better longer. Whoop. Yes, sir. Stretchy. Random success music. Oh boy. Oh well. Where to go from here? I guess I can fill in the mask real quick. Cool. Okay. Rotate this real quick. There we go. It's not in the reference, but I'm gonna put his fairy here. I forget what his name was. Tail? Tattle and Tail. Yes. And maybe we can have like a water reflection down here or something. And then the rest can be like blackness. That'd be kind of epic. Yes, that's our suggestion for now. Oh, and maybe like the water can be like casting an underlay down here. Like a blue. That'd be kind of cool. Then maybe the rest can be like an orange or something. Okay. So I guess the question is now, do I just go straight to the line work? Might as well. Oh my gosh, I hate that. It's like, why is that not a button? Why do you have to just like... Sometimes Photoshop is really convenient and very like obvious, but other times it's like, how would you ever just figure out that clicking over in this nondescript blank space pulls something up? I like, it should just be a button. I don't know. It's like it's pretty important stuff too. Like, I don't know, I use this kind of stuff all the time. Like, why would it... Whatever. Anyway. We are now going for black. And we are also... Hopefully you can see my menu. I moved it over a bit. So, hopefully the border is not blocking it. Should I go with a 15 or a 10? Oops. Okay, 15. Actually, I'm gonna do something. Something I think everyone should be in the habit of doing, but most people already know about. Just taking advantages of all the sort of things you can do in the digital medium. And one of those things is just being able to flip the canvas like this and see if like there's anything really awkward about it. And so far I'm not really seeing much of anything. Maybe I would just do this. But yeah, the reason you want to flip your canvas a lot is just it gives your eye like a new fresh perspective of everything you've already been doing from like a different angle. And it really allows you, because you've been like staring at your own art for so long, you can kind of just become blind to what's not working about it after a while, and flipping the canvas kind of allows your brain to process it in a different way. Cool. Something interesting I realized about the Majora's, like the mask design, is that it is like a, not only like obviously it's shaped like a heart, right? But its silhouette, if you just take away the details, its silhouette is a heart within two hands outstretched. Like these spikes here are the fingers, so it's like someone holding a heart out. I don't know if that like really means a whole lot, but I don't know, that's like something I realized last year and it kind of blew my mind. I think it was like a YouTube comment that pointed that out. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure, like, I see that comment, if there's like much of a whole lot of appeal to just watching someone draw for a while, but you know, maybe. Oh yeah, these two songs back to back are probably like what this game is most known for as far as its soundtrack. When I was little, I never really got into Majora's Mask the same way I did Ocarina of Time for the longest time, because like I just played like the beginning section where you're stuck inside the clock town. I could never figure out how to leave. So like for like literally 5, maybe even 10 years, my entire perception of this game, because this was pre-internet, my entire perception of the game was just like what was stuck inside of Clocktown, and I had no real knowledge of anything else. So basically I'd restart the game and play like the first cutscene over and over and over again. And what that eventually did is it just like, because I couldn't just look anything up to like, oh, what's outside of the town, or how do you beat the game? I'm sure those answers were out there, but I wasn't really smart and I didn't know how to navigate like really early YouTube. So for the longest time, it was just like the huge mystery for me. And I think for like when you have something like that you just like really want to know the answer to, but just can't. I don't know, it just like gave me like this weird, extreme like fascination for it. Like I'm not joking when I say like I had dreams of like what was beyond the clock town when I was a kid. And seeing the map all clouded out and wishing I could see what was on it and stuff. Eventually how I came to solve it was there's always been like a save file on the game that has never been completed. Like when we originally bought the game from like Blockbuster or something, you know, it was pre-owned, so someone had played it for about 3/4 of the way through and then just like never finished it. And that save file was what I would go on to play if I just wanted to mess around in the overworld. But obviously I couldn't like progress further in the game because it was like just somewhere randomly in the middle of the game. How do you like figure out what to do next? And eventually what happened was, like, just by chance one day I was messing around in the game and there's a section where you have to use the ice arrows to freeze portions of a lake to jump across it, and just like randomly I figured that I just did it. And I remember that moment being like, oh my gosh, did I just like solve something that's been a mystery for like, I don't know, my entire life? And then like I jumped on the water and then got to the other side, and then basically like a week later I had the game finished. I remember like the early internet's fascination with Majora's Mask was all around that one creepypasta. Back when those were like, I think creepypastas are still around, but like that was the age of like when they were like an internet sensation. And for the longest time, That's all anyone ever talked about was like the Ben drowned creepypasta. It had like its own fan art. It had like sequels other people wrote. All sorts of YouTube videos covering it, trying to make it seem as if it was like real or legit real life. I remember at the time every time I encountered it, I've just felt frustrated because it was like, I'm glad people are talking about this game, but I feel like it was just talk about the game, you know, not this like weird fan fiction trying to be a horror story. I don't know. That was like a really long time ago. If anybody like remembers that, that's like OG YouTube. Success. Yeah. It's actually not a bad. Usually when I draw this thing, I get frustrated that the proportions are not correct. But that's honestly not even that bad. Maybe the spikes aren't as out as they should be. But it's not really the worst thing. I want to be careful about how many detail lines I give in this, because I don't want it to be too messy. Ooh, the overworld theme. There. Yeah, something like that. It's okay if the lines are really sloppy. I think it kind of has an aesthetic appeal to that. Yep. Cool. I think that's done. I'm gonna make his hands a little more inward, just to, I don't know, make him look less relaxed, or look a little more antagonistic. Oh, I hated the owl. I don't know if the owl's not in this game. Why is this in the soundtrack? Whose theme is this in this game? I can't remember. It looks okay. I'm gonna give that some weight. It's just kind of awkward seeing the line remain that thick all the way around. Yeah, it looks better. I'm going to add a shadow. Basically like really obscene depth at the lines where something overlaps something else. How should I do this other arm? Because it's kind of broken. Yeah, I feel like the way I draw... Hold on. Yeah. Like the proportions and the kind of faces I do kind of changes all the time. I'm not really sure what I really like to do most, but as far as how my lines and coloring work, that's always been consistent. How do I draw this arm? Let's put the sleeve right there. A big no-no in art is like if I went and put the line right there. See how like it now looks like the finger and this line are the one and the same? I think that has a name, I can't really remember. It's like an accidental something, like an accidental intersection, or we want to make sure we avoid those kind of clarity issues. I don't even remember who Caper Gabora is in this game. Yay. We got 20 rupees, probably. Swamp theme. I'm actually gonna put the way down here. Yeah. Maybe something like that. Oh gosh. Oh Lord. There we go. Is the fat owl in this game? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I don't think so. He might be, oh, he might be in like a single cutscene or something, just to introduce the owl statues. Oh, I don't even remember. I don't know, I don't want to bet on that. The owl really is the worst part of Ocarina of Time, though. So it's really good that they cut him out. As much as they might have. We're gonna have to fix all that. Whatever. Move on. For now. Looks like he has gloves. Godlike theme. It's kind of busy, but oh well. Oh boy, it's not doing the same thing it was. Something like that. Oh. Wow. Oh man, this sucks. There. I'm just gonna give it that. Be done with it for now. Oh, Saria's song is actually probably one of my favorites. I'm terrible. Whatever, we'll leave that for now. The suggestion is enough. Boop. One of my, I don't know, but I never use the smoothing tool. It can be helpful for things like that, but for just getting consistent line work. But I feel like for getting this kind of energy, I don't know if that's really the right way to describe it, but whenever I use smoothing, especially because I'm using what do you call this thing? Come on, pop up. Tell me what you're called. Whatever. Line sensitivity. Using smoothing always like kind of destroys that, in my opinion. Oh yeah, you're right. See, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. In the official artwork, you never see his thighs. But we can avoid that for now. I remember the days when all I would listen to are like Zelda soundtracks, and I would just like load up 5 or 6 on my like school laptop by like, you know, just opening up the YouTube app and just watching them, or just letting them play through, and then on the bus on the way home I would listen to them all at least like once, and then, you know, because I didn't have any internet on the bus, I could only listen to them once, so I'd have to like get as many as possible in like the class before going home. Good times. Okay. Yeah. I remember when Skyward Sword came out. Oh my gosh, that was so... It feels so weird to think about like Skyward Sword as being like... I remember that time just like watching the trailers and wondering about it. Everyone's speculating. You know, I always have been kind of like a hipster, you know, if you want to call it that. Just, I don't know. I've always been such like a big fan of the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask soundtrack sounds, and they're like, I don't know, synthy. It's not like an actual band playing the music, you know. And then they used like a real orchestra in Skyward Sword, and obviously it's amazing, but like, kid me never really appreciated it. I was always kind of averse. And again, I never really played Skyward Sword. I don't think, yeah, the only like 3D Zelda game I've actually played outside of the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask is Breath of the Wild. And even then I was kind of like averse to Breath of the Wild, playing it and enjoying it, just, you know, because I've always had that like stupid mindset where it's like, it'll never be as good as the game I love. And then I played it and I was like, oh, that was kind of amazing. I recently watched a really good analysis video from this channel that discusses sound. And they went into depth about like the sound design of Link's armor, and it was such a good. It's like it was really eye-opening as to like how in depth and intricate the layering of the sound design, because it's not just like, oh, we have, you know, Link has a sword on and a shield, so get the sword and shield sound, but it's like all dependent on like a huge variety of factors depending on like the terrain he's walking on, the weather, what kind of clothes he's wearing, how fast he's going, and there's just like so many variables that like influence the kind of sound that's generated. And it's not like they just mess with like the audio levels for a particular sound. They actually have like recorded sound files for every different variable, which is just like really, really interesting. And it's like I always sort of appreciated the sound in Breath of the Wild, but actually seeing it explained was like made me appreciate it so much more. Yeah, I do remember. I do believe that's where the owl is from. I think that's the first statue you see in the game. Is that one in the palace? I think his name is Scruffy. I meant it to like share it to everybody, but I don't know, I forgot. My lines might be too thick. Oh well. Suggestion. Not bad, I guess. I'm actually just gonna draw this arm by itself. And then add the other one on top of it. And see if that's making sense. Boop. Arm's too short. Maybe. Hold on. I'm looking up a reference for folded arms. Oh boy. Here we go. Take a good look, gentlemen. Why can't I just... Okay. Doesn't zoom in. Let's analyze what's going on here. One arm goes on top and the other on the bottom, and the thumb is going up. Okay. Now let's fix this abomination. This is like 90% of my time spent while drawing is just like not actually doing it, is just like fixing this or trying to figure out some annoying, problematic, stupid thing like an arm that's looking horrible. Arm's not going down enough, I guess. Kind of getting it, I think. Oh, wow. Thank you. I spent like an hour today working on the thumbnail for this, so hopefully it's something. I get to reuse. I give him some leg. His old wooden arms and legs. I don't exactly know what's going on down there. I'll leave it be for now. I'm just gonna... Oh boy. I like wrinkled cloth, but I'm not very good at it. I'm just gonna darken the areas where the lines can be annoying. Let's just make suggestions. Good enough. And the references hair actually sticks out a bit more. Or whatever you call this thing. But I'm not going to bother. Well, actually I will. Okay. Okay. And there we go. Is that even? 1, 2, 4. It's not, but who cares? The thing about any art piece is like nobody's gonna look at it for more than, I don't know, 3 seconds. Like, I don't know, like, not to be cynical, but when you're scrolling through Instagram, it's not like you look at an piece of art for more than like 4 seconds, usually. And if you do, it's usually because you tell yourself, oh, I should look at it for longer because I want to be respectful for the time that was put into this. But if you're not consciously making that decision, most of the time you're only going to look at it for 3 seconds max and then keep scrolling. Or like, oh, that's pretty, I should follow them. Maybe leave a like and subscribe. And click the bell if you're feeling really generous sometimes. And we're just gonna leave that up to suggestion. And we're gonna be really messy. That one's too thick. Oh well. It can be okay to be inconsistent. I like it. We're going to save. Backcracking ASMR. Got it. Yes, it is. It's that fact that makes you stop and ask yourself, oh, I'm going to appreciate the little details that probably took an hour on this. Because most people won't. Now, sometimes I'll just see like a, like a really good piece of artwork from somebody, that doesn't have a lot of attention. I'll just be like, okay, cool. And then I scroll back up and I'm like, okay, let's actually look at the reflections and what all the light's doing, because someone put a whole lot of time into this and I might as well like absorb it for a moment. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty good. What's this fairy look like? Just a ball, right? Yeet, 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 yeet. There we go. Give him his little wings. Woo, woo. Something like that. Pretty cute. Line's too thick. Ooh. There we go. Should I draw in the lines for the reflection? I'm gonna look up water reflection. Oh, you didn't need to see that. Real quick, because what I'm planning to do is I'm actually gonna pull up my. See how the reflections are working here? I'm just gonna make it dark blue and then have it gradient fade into black. But I'm gonna have like shapes of light that are gonna cast onto him from the bottom. I think I'll just do that on its. I'm not gonna do that as any lines. Never mind. I can do that just as a fill shape. All right, now let's go and add some depth to this bad boy. Yes, sir. My favorite dungeon in what's this game? Majora's Mask, and probably in the entirety of Zelda history, is the Stone Tower Temple. But I think like a close second for the game is the Snowhead Peak, or whatever it's called, Snowhead Dungeon. I really like and appreciate like the central design of the pillar and how you have to navigate and find your way up and eventually kind of go back down and then go back up, all the while like figuring out the path forward while the central pillar changes height. Super good design. I think like the core function of every Majora's Mask dungeon that makes it so successful is the implementation of that like single is like how every dungeon is focused around like a single mechanic. For the Stonehead, it's the pillar that you can raise and lower and then eventually destroy. And for the Water Temple, no, it's not called the Water Temple, it's called like the Great Bay Temple. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like that one, but I actually think it's like genius design. I really like figuring out how to like change the path of the water going forward and how that leads to your destination. And I watched a pretty interesting video discussing how like the Great Bay Temple is actually probably one of the best designed dungeons ever, because it's so there's so much clarity and so many like visual clues telling you what direction you should go and how you should proceed. Whereas like the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time, there's like virtually no clues at all. And both are like in the same ballpark as how in regard to how challenging they are. But the Water Temple, or the Great Bay Temple rather, in Majora's Mask succeeds to be more fun because it's just, there's more what's the word, clarity behind its design. Not saying the Water Temple is bad though, because I don't know, it seems like for years people just kind of hated it just because like it's really not that hard. Well, adios, Crimson Line Gameplays. I'm glad to have you in here. Maybe I'll write your name down so people can see you. Maybe I'll do that. I don't have like a notification thing on for what people... What the heck, my M? If anyone can read that. Yeah, Crimson. Okay, we'll just keep that down there. Oh, I haven't heard this song before. Alright, I should probably get on with the line work and get finished with this before it's 1 o'clock. Okay. Actually, I need to finish this leg. And if it gets too late, I'll probably just like, I don't know. There's no real way to just like upload an image to YouTube. I don't think I have access to like any sort of alerts or just like what is this song? Oh, Froggy. That's horrible. Never mind. Ignore that. Finally, the first fill layer. Yay. Should I just steal colors from something else? I don't think that's wrong. Anyone object to that? Oh, what the heck? Stop. There we go. That was my background art you saw for a second. Beautiful, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Get out of my way. Kind of like that. Okay. Here. That's gonna be our reference colors. I don't feel like making all the colors myself. I don't know if that's a taboo or not. I don't really care. Alright. Oh my gosh, stop. There we go. I like that orange. Bye-bye. Normally I would separate all of the colors onto their own layer, like arm color, skin color, eye color, first whatever. But I don't know. That's usually if I'm like messing around with the shades or whatever, or what even color I want to use, because it's all my own. But for something like this, I don't think I really need to. Maybe I will, like, for the orange or something. Actually, it's a lot easier because you can just paint over stuff. So I still might. I have heard word that uploading, like, VODs, is that what they call that, of your streams, is damaging for YouTube's algorithm or whatever, but I don't really care. I don't think it really matters for a channel as pathetic as mine. That thing I said I wasn't gonna do, I'm gonna do. 'Cause I'm dumb. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's some things I just like never wanted to tell anybody, like, oh yeah, if I'm doing fan art or something, I'm usually always stealing the colors from somewhere. But I don't know. There's like a pretty hard line. I don't know. I think like when it comes to plagiarism, it's pretty obvious. Like if you're just like drawing over lines, not doing the anatomy yourself, that's like to me the where you are crossing that line and you're just stealing. But if you've gone through all the effort to like construct the image yourself from scratch, I don't really have a problem with it. Skin color. My family has been watching all of the Lord of the Rings movies because we do that like every holiday as like a tradition, I guess. And for some reason this year, so we watched all of the Hobbit movies and we just watched the first Lord of the Rings movie tonight. And I don't know, man. For whatever reason, they have been extremely tiresome to get through. I think like when I first watched the Hobbit movies, I just was under the impression that like they were okay, but now I'm just like, I don't know, man. Especially the first one where it's like it's an hour before the movie really starts or before they go on their adventure. And they have to like sit and deliberate about it for so long. And then at the end of the movie, nothing really happens. So it just like feels super, it just drags. But yeah. Even like this first Lord of the Rings movie we watched, like the hobbits like Frodo and the gang are getting chased by like the hooded dudes for like an hour. It's like, this doesn't need to be this long, my guys. Personal opinion. Oh, frick. Okay. I've been using Procreate a lot recently, which is because it's just like an iPad only, and I didn't realize that, but I've really begun to like really dig it. I think Procreate has, while it's not as powerful as Photoshop, and it doesn't have nearly like like just the like assets or just the ability to edit photos, basically. That's Photoshop's main selling point, is that it can edit photographs. And also as a drawing application. From what I understand, and this might not be accurate, but Procreate's just mostly drawing. Even though that's the case, I think like the drawing engine in Procreate's actually extremely smooth and extremely satisfying. And going back to Photoshop, it's not bad, but it definitely feels a lot more stilted in comparison to what I've been used to for the last week. Stilted and not as precise. It's not like, it's hard to explain, but Procreate just kind of like guesses for you if that's like, when you put a line down, it doesn't exactly place the line where you want it, or not where you want it, but where you precisely place the line. It places the line where you want it, or where it guesses you want it, and it guesses like 99.99% of the time accurately. And going back to Photoshop does not do any guessing for you. It just like lets the line be where it is. You just have to deal with it and be better and try again. But that skin. Oh boy, this is tiresome. think this is the same orange. I'm not gonna double check. This is the part of art that I always find just to be the most tedious, is just getting the fill in. Doing the shading, doing the environment, and doing lighting is always kind of fun for me because it's a lot of just experimentation and a lot of just like trying how things look together, but like just filling in the colors is just like one step to what you know it's gonna look like kind of already. You have to go in and erase all the areas where the fill goes outside of the lines. Okay. I think it's okay if I just like, like this. And now we're gonna erase out. Oh. I think other people, other artists probably have the gift of speed on their side, and that is not me. Like I'm fairly confident I've seen other people do this exact same style with the same amount of detail in like 25% of the time. But oh well. I was thinking if I'm going to be doing, if I do more live streams, I could just like play Zelda. But I don't know if it'd be as engaging as drawing. Because when I'm drawing, I always feel like I have something to talk about because there's an immediate next step. I'm not sure if that's the same with playing a game or not. Especially one like Ocarina of Time where I've played it 1,000 times before. I would play Smash on stream because that's something popular and I know that gets lots of views, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever sat down to play Smash Bros and not gotten just like extremely mad. Or at least playing online. I could play offline and have a good time. But online, not the same. Not the same story. That's probably good. I think the Zora's domain was probably my least favorite part of Majora's Mask. I don't know. I feel like you can just go to skip most of it anyway. Yeah, it was. You have to like go get the eggs like 500 times from the Pirate's Fortress. And if you aren't smart or you just like aren't familiar with the game, that can be such a headache because you have to go back to the ocean, get an egg one bottle at a time, go to the marine place, and then you have to go into Pirate's Fortress like one at a time. If you're like know what you're doing and you're prepared or you've played the game before, it's not so bad because you can get bottles in advance and have to make only like 2 trips max. Especially if you have the mask, what's like the stone mask or something. You can just like walk in front of the guards. But if not, that's like an incredibly tedious portion of the game. Ugh. Okay, orange done. Green, let's go. Oh, I really love the ending theme for this game. And this is a section of it. Boy. Doing the fill. Just want to get this over with now. One at a time. Let's call that white. I have no idea what stream quality looks like, by the way. I wonder if I should check that. I set it to normal. I don't know how good my internet is. Actually, that's not so bad. Yeah, that can work. Okay. So I did have a Twitch stream account that I did like 2 or maybe even 3 streams on before I just gave up because every stream I did was just totally butchered. I don't know what Twitch just does not give like its new users any benefits as far as like streaming quality goes. Like I played Smash with a friend once and it totally got ruined and like the gameplay was just like totally busted, like 10 pixels on the screen at a time, just kind of stuff. Oh, is this the ending theme? Yes, sir. Let's fill in these big ol' eyes. Cool. Boop, 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 boop. Perfect. That's what we'd like to see. So yeah, that's probably what I'm doing right now is the biggest benefit of digital illustration over traditional. Is I can just like separate everything I do, literally every color, every line, even every stroke if I really wanted to, into a different layer, so I can just mash stuff on top of it, which you can do in traditional drawing, obviously, but the difference is I just slapped all this purple on top of all this orange, and it's on a different layer. That's, for those unfamiliar, is called non-destructive editing. I can slap purple over where there was once orange, and the orange is still there. In digital illustration, you really want to avoid destructive editing as much as possible. Any instance of destructive editing would be like, oh, it's time to finish the image, I'm going to merge the layers. You don't want to do that. Something like that. Keep everything separated as much as possible. I'm just gonna borrow this horn color. See, I'm gonna, no, don't delete that. This is becoming a mess, so I'll probably just put it all in a group now. And the one thing that Photoshop definitely has over Procreate, as much as I really love, not just like the drawing engine, but seeing like how the colors merge together, for some reason Procreate's really good. Like the colors just blend together and your paint strokes are so, I don't know, fun. Like, but whatever. The thing that Photoshop has over Procreate by a mile is that you can just group everything together and turn a whole group into a mask, into a clipping mask. And as far as I can tell, Procreate, you can only do a layer as a mask. So basically, if you want to like color an image and you do each layer as its own color, by the time you want to add shadows or light effects to it, you kind of have to merge everything, which is really not ideal. We're close. Okay, let's steal this red color. Yes, sir. Call that red. That's kind of obnoxious how all these colors are coming together, but whatever. It's supposed to look, stand out against the dullish greens and oranges. Actually, see, I can just mask that. I don't have to worry about going over. Same with the eyes. Stop. Every time I click on a layer, Photoshop thinks I want to open up the layer blending style modes. This is definitely going to be a little scuffed, but I'm just gonna... Oh, I didn't draw in the orange for the... Huh. That reference doesn't use the little... I'll just draw these in. That's good enough, probably. There we go. I like that being a little darker. I'm just going to do this all in one layer. Okay. Cool. All right. Going to have to add shading to that. Cool. Let's take all the colors, group them together, and then we can put a mask on them. This is something you can't do in Procreate. This is our shadow layer. And for shadows, I just go for some really obnoxious blue color. I don't know, maybe I should use like a texture brush this time. Try and simulate what I do in Procreate a little bit. Yeah, like that. Okay. Multiply and go down to 50. Boop. Change the... How should I shade this? I guess that eraser is impossible to be take that one. That's interesting. I I usually do 2 shadow layers, so 1 layer for all the places they intersect, such as in here, or like there's a obviously going to be no light, or where there's overlap. And then another layer for just like indicating where a light source is coming from, basically. I really like this for shading, actually. Kind of looks cool. Oh boy, it's 12 already. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna paint over everything and erase out like we did last time. There we go. I can also just do like a shadow layer on the orange itself. That may have been useful, but oh well. Yeah, like that. Good. Okay. All right. That's already looking better. Cool. Still a little. Something like that. Something like this. I guess I can put shadows under the eyes, maybe. Yeah. All right. Now for the second shadow layer. Shadow 2. Stop. And for this, I'm just gonna. Ooh, spooky. Same effect. Bring out the eyes a bit. I love this song. Okay, cool. The entire ending of Majora's Mask is so interesting. Part of the reason I think Majora's Mask is like still even now, not at the moment, not really a trending issue, but or topic, but has remained the kind of what the heck, center of discourse for so long is just like the fact that it has no real explicit explanation. Especially this ending is like so obvious, or like makes that clear, is that there's so much going on in this ending that makes no that really isn't defined at all. I think I'll have the light coming from above or something. Yeah, sure. This is how I do lighting, by the way. I just create a shadow layer and I erase out all the areas there would be light going or hitting. So like this shirt right here. I'm going to erase out these spikes to make them stick out. Yeah, maybe over here too. For now. If I don't like how that's doing, I'll change it. Ooh, we can have the fairy be the light source. I like that. I wasn't thinking about the possibilities. Now I am. Yeah. Yeah, this is always probably my favorite part, is just doing the lighting on everything and seeing it kind of like pop out from once being a flat image to suddenly have some depth to it. just... Yeah, it's kind of cool. I might do that. There we go. If that's the case, I'm gonna have to erase a bit on here too. No problem though. Texture that edge back up. I'll erase the highlights back in here. Oh yes, this is Skull Kid. I'll probably delete this. Where did I write that? Okay. Oh boy, it's been like, how long? Is it gonna tell me? I can't. Okay, it's been almost 2 hours. This is what almost 2 hours of work looks like for anyone unfamiliar. Okay. Ooh, where is that layer? Okay. And this one I can keep. I'm doing some editing here. Something like that. It's kind of awkward seeing those two at this. Oh well, I'll leave it for now. Oh, I didn't add the eyes. Interesting. I'll go and do that right now. Layer organization, kind of a mess. But I doubt I'll be going back through this. I think it's okay to leave it a bit messy. The eyes red or green? I think green. And then we'll add like a red glow to them. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna use this wand tool. I'm gonna add it in right now. Here. Thank you. This is the best part of drawing, is when you get the... Actually, I'll do it with the texture brush. Go and shade everything. Actually, I'll make the brush a little bigger. And then we can edit how it's... wait. Oh, I did that on the same layer. I'm stupid. Stop. Why does it do that? Sorry. Oh my gosh. What layer is this? Ah, I was drawing on the yellow. Okay. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to hear that. I don't know why Photoshop does that. Okay. There we go. I might have to close Photoshop if it's gonna keep yelling at me like that. I've been drawing for nearly 2 hours now. There. Now it's stopped gonna make that noise, hopefully. As much as I would like to just do drawing streams a lot, that's the problems. They take quite a while to do. Maybe I should just leave it at normal. It's barely nothing. Whatever. That might be a little extreme. I'll mess with it later. What color is Tattle? Orange? I kind of want this light to be orange on him. You know what? It's bothering me. Okay. I know for a fact we are going... Actually, I'll make a background real quick. I think that'll help. I think I'll do a dark green. And just go black, never mind. This is gonna take a while. There we go, spooky. And then, this is the magic. I'm skipping out on doing like a true background. I'm just gonna cheat. I'll find like a bluish color and do like a yeah. We're just gonna make interesting shapes. Something like that. I'm not really using a reference, but I've done this before, so. Yeah, that's cool. He's gonna be floating above the water. Maybe we'll see his reflection down there. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll make it bigger. I don't know. Boop. Never mind. I think that gets the idea across. And then we're gonna do a gradient. And we're gonna do like a dark blue or something. Maybe. The gradient tool is right here. I used it earlier today, so it's still there. I think that's okay. Other way around. And we want that one. Yes. 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 Good. And now we are going to make it really subtle, like that. I don't know if I like that hue. I'm actually gonna make it a greenish color. This is the part that always takes a really long time. Messing with. Yes, that's what I like. a greenish watery color. That's good. Okay, we'll delete that and start again. Yes, I like that a lot better. Okay. We're going to add a reflection. The shading's probably a little weird. Actually, now that the water's more green, that doesn't look weird. Doesn't look right. Maybe something like that. Yes. I like this color. We'll add this in as a rim light. Something. Oh, looking good. We'll change the layer blending so that'll look better. This is all just to add a little more depth. Okay. Oop. Cool. I'll do maybe a little highlight on the fingers. Basically every piece. Okay. Yeah, something like that. I think that's pretty good. I don't know if I like the gradient. Oh, hold on. It almost kind of works pretty good just as is. I don't know. I think it might be the color. Yeah, okay, that looks pretty good. I wonder if I can double that. Yes. Maybe I can almost blur it. This is the part in any drawing where I just mess around for like way too long. We're going to blur and see what happens. I don't think that looks bad. That being said, I think this is too bright. So I'm going to darken it a little bit. Actually, I need the color blue for a second. I'm going to, there's no light coming from over here, so fix that. Also going to, should I add shadow on the eyes? I kind of like that. I will. Yeah, I'll keep that. Maybe I'll make the eyes red or something. I like it. I like it. Oh, the music stopped. We're out of music. Yep. I guess we are going to the Ocarina of Soundtrack now. That's the next closest thing. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, I'm not really good at advice because I'm not terribly sure as an artist myself. I don't know. I guess like the best thing to look out for when coloring is just to maintain clarity. So if I take all the color out of this, it'll hold on. Group that all. It's pretty easy to maintain clarity when it's just line art. So going to color, it's like a step beyond that. And basically clarity is just looking at an image and being able to discern it real quick without having to like do any mental gymnastics. Like you don't have to really train your eyes to see what's happening. It's and that's just basically a result of good posing and line variation. So like in these moments here, I add lots of depth so that the hand lines stick out. If I didn't do that, this area would become kind of like a mess, and you really wouldn't be able to figure out where the hand was. And I think you can kind of apply that same kind of thinking to coloring. So when you're coloring, I'm gonna take out the shadows. It's a good practice to make sure that just by looking at it, all of the separate colors read on their own. Yes. So that there's no values are too similar to one another, basically. Yep. Okay. What should I do next? I think I'm gonna paint the fairy. The fairy basically decides our color, so I'm gonna do Skull Kid here, and then Tattle color. I mean, I have to look up what Tattle's color is. Yeah, it's like a purple reddish thing. Okay, it's probably like the same purple. I can get away with it. Yeah. Kind of glows red. The wings are blue. Danger. This might be a hot take, but I actually really like the fairies in Majora's Mask. I know like Navi, I call her Navi. Navi has like a reputation of being pretty obnoxious, but in this game I don't really mind the fairies. You're okay. Put that down there. Or in there. That's Tattle. And I should have the background on for this. Something like that. And then, now that we have Tattle here, oh wow, that's not how you spell that. I should put these lines back where you belong. Oh, nope, never mind. We're leaving the lines separate. I'm going to put this in here. And this will be our light. I guess we're just gonna have to use this. Oh, I had the red color already. Why'd I do that? I haven't watched Supernatural. I've watched like maybe one episode. Ooh. That's nice. Yeah, I've never played the Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. I played it literally a million times on the N64. But I don't know, everything I see about figuring out which one of these blending styles is always a pain. I think I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I have an emulator too. I'm currently playing it on there. I might do like a stream of it maybe. I like that. Ooh. I also have a PlayStation pretty much since the PS3, and now I have a PS4. I'm probably not gonna upgrade because the only game I ever got for PS4 was Black Ops. I'm just like not really a fan of like the normal AAA games, I guess. Yeah, but what was I saying? I think the like I don't have anything against the DS versions of the games at all, but I don't know. I think like the DS kind of got rid of the really good lighting is the most thing. Like there's something about the quality of the textures and the lighting in the N64 version that just does not translate at all to the DS, or just didn't. I guess these. That's not bad. Maybe I can add like a glow to these reflections. Here. Let's get back in there. This is. Oh, that looks good. Maybe a little too much. Never mind. I don't know. I'll probably tone it down. Ooh, I don't know. I might have to darken it now. But if I darken it, it's almost too red. N64 is a classic. Yeah, I got Black Ops Cold War on the PS4, and it runs about as it's okay. It's not a very stable game. Yeah, basically for the rest, I could spend like an hour messing around with these stupid settings. Seeing how bright it should be and how dark and how whatever. I don't know if I'll go through all the lengths of that. But I do know I need to stop. Why does that happen every time? Photoshop, please. I'm not trying to open the layer styles every time I click on the layer. Oh, this is goofy. I think I'll make these lines match, and then I'll edit this one down a bit. I'll probably do it like right there, so that's a little discreet. Yes, okay. Now this is maybe too strong. That's eating into that. It's still updating. Yeah, like the updates in those games are like enormous for no reason. It's kind of glowy. I think there needs to be a little texture in the back here. It's almost better without the black background. You know what? I could use some... This is where... What's the program on the iPad called? I've talked about it like 5. Procreate. Really shines is that doing like this background stuff is super nice. For whatever reason. Actually, this should go up here. I'm gonna draw like little glowy dots. Maybe some down here too. Yeah, drawing on digital, it takes a second to get used to because the hand-eye coordination is just different, especially depending on what you're using. Because if you use like a tablet that doesn't have a screen but it just like plugs in USB, it can kind of get hard. It's really hard to be precise, basically. But if you have like a tablet where you're drawing on your screen, then it's a lot easier. It's a lot more similar to traditional art. But even then, there's still like a learning curve where you have to just like kind of jump over a mental block, almost. I don't think you can ever have the same precision that you can with just drawing on paper. I think every like project should start on paper, regardless if it's like done in the digital medium. What am I doing? Okay. I don't know what I was doing here. Boop. Too many glowy stuff. I'm gonna go and edit some of these reflections. I don't know if I like that on the eye. I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna do some stuff. Yes, good. Do some like rim light stuff on this just to make it look a little more 3D. Make these pieces stand out. think if there's one thing that's not quite finished here, it's the, this might be a bit strong actually. Yeah, I'm gonna tone this down to 55. Yes, okay, we're almost done. Basically, I'm not really a fan of how this bottom part's going. Yeah, it's almost... I wonder if I could take the entire drawing, duplicate it, flip it upside down. Actually, there's a better way to do that. Like that. Oh, but I need to flip the lines too. Okay. Hold on. And then this copy, I'd have to erase this old boy. There. And then we're gonna, in the copy, flip upside down. And maybe if we can mess with it, we can turn this into like a reflection. Yeah. And maybe I can have those like ripple effects stay. Something like that. This is gonna look a little goofy at first, but huh. I think it kind of looks cool. Okay. We'd have to have the water reflection go over it and then merge it all. Hold on, I'll keep those at bay for now. Take a smoothing brush and just go like, yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. I like it. Yeah, something like that. That's cool. I might have to warp the copy real quick. Somehow. Distort. Ripple. And here's a little menu. I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Okay. It doesn't exactly give us a... Oh yeah. I feel like this ripple would be the correct choice. Yes, okay, it is. We're gonna have to mess with that a little bit. This is also one of the benefits of doing digital art. Let's see what that does. Oh, okay. So you can do all this wacky stuff. We don't want to necessarily change the amount, but we want them to be larger. Oh my goodness, okay. Okay, let's tone down to like a really low amount, like at 12 or something. Where's it at? Okay. I like that. Guess at the moment it's looking a little flat. If there's anything that could be done. Yes. These are all the good tricks that you learn after years of doing this. With that in mind, I wonder if I should move them upward. I'm actually just going to move that in there. Put him up in the image and draw him upward. Yes, okay. Now that we're doing that, we're probably gonna have to stretch this out a bit. All right. I don't think that's bad. It might need some editing for like this face and the shadows, probably. There's probably still a lot of work that can be done to gradients and whatever sort of subtle details I can add to it. But for the most part, this is basically complete for the purposes of a live stream, I think. You know, I'm not going to stay on forever. It's been 2.5 hours. Oh my gosh. Well, this is what 2.5 hours of drawing looks like. Let that be what you, let that say what it does. Yeah. So I think for now I'm gonna peace out. It's still a little flat to me, but ooh. Oh, hold on. Water reflections are. I like the overlay. I might duplicate it one more time. Make it real subtle. Okay. But yeah. That's a finished product in my eyes. Well, thanks to everybody who watched. I'm glad you came in and just checked out, even if just for a little bit. I hope to continue doing... I'm going to zoom in just so... I hope to continue doing these, or something along the lines of it. You know, I might play just Ocarina of Time tomorrow just for a little bit. Just something that I can maybe just do for an hour and then log off and be cool with it. So anyway, yep. Thank y'all. I might see you soon. Thanks for checking in. Adios.